Okay, so that repeats that section?
And then you just do it again. And
Okay.
then but I'm having some trouble, like a lot of it you go like, or getting those 3 independent strokes out consistently.
Right.
It's giving me a lot of trouble.
So like in measure
Like here, this one,
20?
yeah. And making it all sound nice and legato.
So you're coming out of, okay, so, so you come here, like that. I would probably do that myself, but that just feels natural to me because I've done a lot of arpeggio exercises where you actually do this push-pull technique. Like, for example, where you have accidentals up here, so it's like say C minor or something. Instead of like trying to position your wrist like you would if it was a chord, like this. Let's see, like this. If it was a chord, you have to put your arms in this awkward position sometimes. But if it's an arpeggio, you can actually just move back and forth like this. And for something like that, that's kind of what I'm doing here. And then you're going to release on the B flat. So, whoops. You're going to. If that doesn't feel natural, you could. Well, maybe not. I mean, that's probably the only other way to do it, but that's probably harder. So,
put some hard movement behind that. Like,
try hitting here. Make sure you hit in the right playing zone. But and then when you pull back this way to keep off of the note here. So it's like a 3-4-4. Let's try that. Yeah. It's hard to make it smooth, but you know if you just get used to that sticking. Think of it like a one motion.
like a timpani stroke.
I'm feeling it sort of like a slight crescendo. Like that. Yeah. I think more of like a finger squeeze rather than like a wrist accent. Yeah. Now try it releasing on the B flat with the left hand. Good, yeah. So I mean that's what I would do with something like that. If you haven't done those arpeggio exercises, that'd be a good way to practice the push-pull technique. You can do that, in all major keys or minor keys, something like that. You do that same, well, almost the same, not quite, but you do the same sticking there. One more time. How many more times?
There's
Maybe 2 or 3 times.
yeah.
Okay. Is that the only problem you're having?
That and some of the keeping the 6. There are a lot of 6 intervals that I have to do like right here. This one isn't as hard, but like the 8th note one, the ba-da-da, it's...
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah.
Like keeping that, playing them all
Yeah.
fast and keeping the...
While keeping the interval. It still almost sounds to me like a slight crescendo would make that sound better. Like a, what are you starting here? Yeah. Which actually makes it a bit easier instead of all three notes being
Hammer here.
yeah.
That does make it easier. And then you have to
be careful you don't get careful the wrist is still the primary stroke there, and you don't get too much arm. Yeah. And then when you do those first two strokes, you're holding a firm grip, but try to relax the wrist joint so that it, when you relax, it's like on snare. If tension is in the wrist, it slows you down, right? So just think firm finger grip, but a relaxed wrist.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I'm actually, since that's a sixth, I actually use the you know where you alter your grip when you do an octave. Have you done that before?
Like when you move it out like this instead of like this.
Yeah, where you have to pull the mallet. You have to, when you roll out like this, you actually sweep it across the palm, and the middle finger pulls it, locks it under
Like this? Like you're rolling it?
Yeah, you're rolling it, but once it rolls about this far and it can't go any further, the middle finger actually pulls it across the palm like this kind of motion, almost like you're scratching your palm. Yeah. So it's like you can only go so far this way because the finger's now straight, but you can move further if you pull out, use the middle finger to pull it back, and then it'll lock under the joint right there, and now you have what's called the wide interval grip. And usually it's like around a sixth where it starts to turn into that. A sixth is probably the most awkward interval, honestly. But with the right hand, with the left hand, since the bars are wider, you definitely have to, if you want a sixth, you definitely have to start that extended grip. But sometimes you can get away with it here in the right hand. But I find it's easier to play when I already have that because my hand is starting to turn like this, and it feels more like I'm playing a drum. Like if you don't get, it is awkward to play like this, right?
Yeah.
So when you pull out like this, your wrist is actually in a position where you can get a little more of that snare drum stroke, which feels easier, you know. So you're on a sixth, right?
Right here.
D and D. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that might make it a touch easier. The other issue is how your body position is once you have both hands in action. So you have the left hand on the A, right?
Yeah, so like there.
So like look at your body position. When you go out like this, like ba-ba-bum, ba-ba-bum, is that causing your body to, is that going to affect
Actually,
the left hand? You want to keep checking that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, especially when you reach wide like this, a lot of times you move out of the playing zone, or as you move your body this way, something changes over here. So let's try doing that again, ba ba bum, but having, so you're going to go from A to, bottom note A to D, right?
Wait, that's okay. So some of the notes I've had to adjust down here because I'm playing it on a 4.3.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
So wait.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of what we were right. But great winged dogs.
So the G you had to take up an octave.
No. Well, let me think of what we are. Because I can't do that.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what notes. Out of context, just kind of racking my brain a little bit.
Okay, well, let's just focus on measure 37, that phrase, because you actually go down to the A,
So right here.
like just those first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bars.
Okay. That part. So.
Yeah. Okay. Let's try it a bit slower.
Yeah.
A bit slower and focus on shifting. It seems like it's just a little bit frantic, you know what I'm saying? So let's slow it down just a little bit. So bum 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 bum. Okay. All right. I think definitely you are playing it a touch too fast right now, just in general, because you want to iron out all of those kinks, and if there's something you mess up repeatedly, that usually means it's too fast. You just don't want to learn it incorrectly. I wanted to say one more thing about just the general, like, shaping. Like, we've got this melody here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bars, and then we have almost 2 bars of the left hand alone. I think you could probably bring out this a little bit, because, in fact, I think that's, yeah, so piano to mezzo piano to, yeah, that's actually notated to do that.
Yeah.
So think of it like a counter melody. So you have this melody, and when the melody pauses, you have this left hand counter melody that sort of fills in the space. It kind of peaks out, and then it pulls back when the melody comes back in.
And you want to do that with the dynamics, the peeking out, you mean?
Yeah, why don't we start it right at 5 and try that?
Can I do the
So-
pickup, like just where we were the same?
Sure, yeah, yeah. Just pick up notes.
Oh, sorry.
Let's slow it down a touch. Da-da-bum, bum, bum. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so that's gonna, it's not written like that the second time, but I actually think it should be.
Because it goes into the next section.
Okay. All right. So, but that sounds a lot better, of course.
The dynamic stuff makes it easier. I think
Yeah.
a lot of the phrasing helps with the
Yeah.
technical.
And then, towards, what's the last section, 52? Is that a difficult place to start?
It's definitely my least good, but I might be able to run it slow.
Okay.
Like,
Boom, boom.
yeah, that
And then
one.
there's a retard.
Yeah.
Nice.
But that climbing part there, where it's like boom, 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 that's tough.
Okay. Okay, well, it's a nice piece. Keep working on those things that we talked about,
Mm-hmm.
the interval of the sixth, figuring out if you're going to need to, change the grip, if that feels better. Just experiment with that. Let's see. And then keep working on playing it slow and getting accurate. like every single note.
Yeah, I think I've been running it really fast.
Mm-hmm.